Hi everyone, I'm John C. Morley, the host of the J Moore Tech Talk Show and Inspirations for Your Life. Well, hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. You're tuned into the J Moore Tech Talk Show, incidentally. And this is the last episode of Series 3 for 2024. That means our next show that we have will not be until next year. Well, just next week. Actually, a week from today will be January 3rd, 2025. And we'll be in Series 4. I cannot believe that we are going to be in Series 4 in just a week from today. That is like really, really amazing. All right, guys. Well, welcome to the J Moore Tech Talk Show. If you guys are wondering what the topic today is, a special title, which I know you guys want to know, well, I'll be happy to share that with you. Our title for this Friday's show, December 27, 2024, is a really, really good one. Are you ready? All right. Tech Tidings, Holiday Strikes, AI Advances, and Festive Innovations, Series 3, Show 53. And the last show for Series 3 and the last show for 2024. So a lot of lasts, but there's going to be a lot of good firsts coming up. Welcome, everyone. It is great to have you with me. I hope you have been enjoying the holidays with your families, friends, and all your wonderful people that you gather with around the holidays. So it is great. When I say really great, to be with everyone around this holiday time, really a great thing. So hopefully you're enjoying them. And if you want to go grab yourself a snack or something, well, go ahead and do it. Why not? Or a drink or something and hurry on back. Well, are you guys ready with me to level up your tech knowledge? I'm John C. Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm also a podcast coach and a podcast host. I invite you to tune in to the latest episode of the J Moore Tech Talk Show every Friday night. But if you can't make that, well, you can just visit believemeachieve.com and either catch the J Moore Tech Talk podcast, which is the audio only version, or you can catch the full show on the YouTube channel or Facebook or LinkedIn, etc. So, welcome everyone. This week, we're topics shaping the tech world, from holiday strikes to groundbreaking AI advancements and festive innovations. Again, you can always catch the show within 24 hours of the J Moore Tech Talk Show airing and explore more great exclusive content that only we provide at believemeachieve.com, which is on my hat. So don't miss all the tech packed discussions that we're having on the J Moore Tech Talk Show this year and the upcoming year and years in the past. One of the interesting things I want to talk about was the Amazon worker strike. I think this is a really interesting thing. So Amazon workers strike across 7 facilities during the holiday shopping rush. Amazon workers at 7 facilities across New York, Georgia, California, and Illinois went on strike just not too long ago. Actually, it was last week, which would have been the 18th and the 19th that they started going on, demanding better wages, improved benefits, and safer working conditions. The strike was led by Teamsters Union in the aim to push Amazon into negotiations, with the union criticizing the company's insatiable need for greed and for delays during the busy holiday season. Amazon responded by denying the claims, accusing the union of misleading the public and bringing in outsiders to support the protest. This strike is being called the largest against Amazon in U.S. history, with nearly 10,000 workers joining the Teamsters. Despite the opposition, the union is determined to continue its campaign for workers' rights. Now, you guys know that Amazon always does things for money, right? Um, but, even getting through to their customer support is like a joke. Even when you try to use their chat system, that becomes annoying because they still try to not give you a live person. So, striking workers picketed outside of Amazon warehouse in the city of the industry, California, on December 19th, and thousands of workers have ended their days long strike against the company now. But did they really get what they want? And I guess that's really the question. Did Amazon did the strike do anything for Amazon? And that's a tough thing. People are saying, are they still striking? Well, many people are back to work. Um, and so, a lot of workers just basically yesterday, December 26th, basically thousands of workers have ended their strike with Amazon. So the question is, did it work? But the tension persists, with the union saying its efforts aren't over yet. "Quote unquote, make no mistake, the Teamsters will never let up and workers will never stop fighting for their Amazon rights while working there." So I think that's very, very important. Quote, a union representative had said this, and thousands of Amazon delivery drivers um, across a handful of states went on strike late last week in the thick of the holiday package season, with the strike ending on Christmas Eve. The Teamsters held protests outside at least 200 facilities nationwide, but workers were on strike at only 9 separate locations from Queens, New York to San Francisco. Amazon insisted that none of its operations or deliveries were affected by the stoppage. The union claims to represent 7,000 Amazon workers nationwide, or less than 1% of the company's U.S. workforce. Amazon is the nation's second largest private employer, with a headcount of 740,000 workers across 1,000 warehouses and distribution centers. The protesting workers demanded higher wages and better benefits, pointing to the online shopping behemoth massive profits in recent years. Amazon posted solid profit growth in the third quarter, in part driven by strong e-commerce sales. Striking workers have also complained of tough working conditions. And we'll get to some of those stories a little bit later. They say the pay needs to be better. Um, but it's more than just the money, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually about how they're being treated, while they're at these facilities. So it's really something. And again, it was called the largest strike against Amazon in U.S. history, with nearly 10,000 workers joining the Teamsters. And I think most people didn't want the strike, but they did it because they felt they had to. They were part of a group. They were part of that family, right? So I don't know. I just know that reaching them last week when I had to get them on the phone for something because I had gotten a part that was defective. I actually tried to do the return process online, but it was declined. So then I went to Amazon because it was sold by a third party seller. And so when I called the 1-800 number for Amazon, I just kept hitting zero and zero and just coming around. It's like, I can't help you. I didn't understand. I'm like, don't you get it after like 4 or 5 times, like 10 times? Like, when are you going to transfer me? Finally, after I think it was like 10 or 12 times, they finally transferred me. Then the guy said, well, you should use the online chat. But the chat was a disaster too, because the chat didn't give me a live person either. Now, what he said, which was very interesting, is that they're doing this because, they just have such a demand. We'll have to see if I can get through to a live person easier. But Amazon's system is terrible with getting live people, on the phone or even on chat. So I don't buy that it's just, use chat and it'll be better, because it's not. It wasn't any better than being on the phone. It was just the same runaround. And ladies and gentlemen, TSMC, do you guys remember TSMC? Well, TSMC, they're making quite a bit of headway here. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company Limited. They started their first foundry in 1987 in Taiwan. So TSMC's first advanced U.S. chip plant, nearly it's on track. The TSMC's first advanced U.S. Chip plant in Arizona, the company's most advanced fabrication facility on U.S. soil, is nearing its original schedule after overcoming early construction and operational challenges. Originally projected to cost $12 billion and produce 5 nanometer chips by the end of 2024, the project is seeing costs rise to $20 billion, with full production now expected in 2025. And the facility, which is currently in pilot production, will produce 4 nanometer chips. And TSMC plans further expansion with a total investment of $65 billion for additional fabrication plants. Now, despite delays, the fab will play a crucial role in addressing shipment changes and chip supply chain risks, offering greater resilience in the United States semiconductor industry, which currently relies heavily on Taiwan for advanced chip production. Is having this facility here in the United States going to make it easier for us? One thing, it's probably going to cut the tariff because everything's being made right here. It's also going to create more jobs. They're even having a TSMC day they have at Arizona State. So they're trying different things, but I'm just not sure if this is going to be like the best thing yet. It might be. I'm just a little concerned about what they're doing and what it's actually going to do for the American people. All right, and a U.S. judge rules against Israel's NSO group in the WhatsApp hacking case. What is this all about? Yes, a U.S. judge ruled that Israel's NSO group, maker of Pegasus spyware, violated state and federal hacking laws in a lawsuit filed by WhatsApp, part of Meta, in case you're wondering. The case stems from allegations that NSO used Pegasus to infect and surveil 1,400 phones in May of 2019, targeting journalists, human rights activists, and diplomats. The judge found NSO responsible for installing and extracting data, rejecting claims that its government clients controlled the spyware. WhatsApp celebrated the ruling as a win for accountability, while NSO faces a jury trial in March 2025 to determine damages. This decision follows years of litigation and sanctions for NSO compliance, with implications for global spyware practices. This is really a mess about what's going on, and I think it just really got way out of hand. With this NSO, Israeli cyber intelligence company, and I think a lot of people think that they can just do whatever they want, but people are quickly learning that they can't, especially these big companies. So I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I think they're starting to learn because they're getting hit with these huge fines, and it's going to continue. This is not going to end anytime soon. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen, and let you know what's happening and where it's going. But there is a court case on the books for March of 2025 to determine the actual damages. More will follow about that. And ladies and gentlemen, an exclusive on the U.S. targets firm behind the TSMC, Taiwan Multiconductor chip company. Pretty interesting what's happening there. TSMC is the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, is kind of entering this very unique partnership with the U.S. And this is all about the U.S. targeting firms behind the TSMC chips found in the Hawaii processor. The Biden administration plans to blacklist Chinese firm Softgo for allegedly using a TSMC-made chip in Hawaii's HI processor without authorization, escalating actions against companies' lives operations. So, Softgo, affiliated with Bitcoin mining supplier Bitmain, faces inclusion on the entity list, which restricts access to U.S. technology and goods. The move follows investigations revealing the chip found in Hawaii's Ascend 910B system that was designed by Softco. TSMC immediately halted shipments to Softco after discovering the match, and they had previously stopped supplying Hawaii in 2020. Softco denies ties to Hawaii, but its AI chips have been produced by Chinese state entities for surveillance and AI tools. So I have to say one thing about the TSMC company. Even though they are in Taiwan, it looks like they are trying to do the greatest thing for, let's say, the greater good of mankind. They stopped shipping, and they are all about serious security. So I think they are in a partnership that we kind of could trust. I mean, it's going to be hard because really don't know them too well, and so just seeing how they've operated demonstrates that they definitely are about more than profits. They are about security. All right, I think that's important to understand. So OpenAI launches the O3 reasoning AI models for testing. The OpenAI has introduced its latest reasoning AI models, O3 and O3 Mini, which excel in breaking down complex tasks for better results. Currently, in safety testing with researchers, these models outshine predecessors in coding, math, and science benchmarks, solving advanced problems and scoring highly on expert challenges. OpenAI, you might notice, actually skipped O2, and they did this to avoid confusion with a telecom brand. The company also announced progress in deliberative alignment, assuring AI evaluates safety decisions step by step, improving adherence to guidelines. Public release dates are yet to be announced, but these advancements mark a leap forward in AI reasoning and safety protocols. So you probably might be asking me, and it's a very good question. What is in the O3 AI change? Well, there's a lot of things in there. So the OpenAI O3 builds on its predecessor O1 with enhanced reasoning and adaptability, which happened around the September 1st of 2024. The O3 models are showing notable performance improvements, including ARC-AGI benchmark visual reasoning with an 87.5% accuracy rating, and O3 showcases significant visual reasoning gains. So what this means to me is we're probably going to see that they're going to be a lot more suitable for, let's say, manufacturing environments and many other environments. But the question is this going to help the country? The O3 model scores, as I said, much higher on several measures. But the thing is, Google is also pursuing a similar line of research. Oh, no. Yes, Noam Shazir, a Google researcher, revealed in a post on ago that the company has developed its Gemini 2.0 Flash. Google CEO Sundar Pichai called a very interesting thing, and I want to quote exactly what he said. He actually called it, according to his thing, called it our most thoughtful model yet. Quote. And so Google's new model achieved a high score on the SWE bench, a test that measures a model's agentic abilities. However, OpenAI's new O3 model is 20% better than O1, and the O3 blew it out of the water. This comes from the Affair Press and a postdoctoral researcher at Princeton University who helped develop the SWE bench. Quote unquote, he said, very surprising increase. Not sure how they did it, close quote. The two dueling models show competition between OpenAI and Google to be fiercer than ever. It's crucial for OpenAI to demonstrate that it can keep making advances as it seeks to attract more investment and build a profitable business. Google is meanwhile desperate to show that it remains at the forefront of AI research. I mean, we know how much Google's been getting taken down, and they're figuring that this is going to hopefully, change the world for them. Is it? I don't know. I think right now we just want to see a Google that's going to operate ethically, right? Not one that's going to just play games, because Google has not been truthful. We know this, right? Google has not been truthful for years, and that's not hearsay. They've been accused of not being truthful for years. Criticism including manipulating search results, misrepresenting how user data is collected, and denying the use of certain ranking factors in their search algorithm, leading concerns about the accuracy and transparency of information presented to users. And everybody wants to get up to be like the best, like Google. But my question is, why? Like, why do you want to be? Why do you care about Google? I mean, there's other great search engines out there. But I think we were all concerned that if Google didn't index us, then, we wouldn't be at the party. But Google's not it. Like, Google was a company that was the first to show up, but they're not the be all end all. They give conflicting advice. The people that you get on the phone are nothing but abusive. They're arrogant and they don't know what they're doing. And then when you tell them that you don't like something, they get even more arrogant at you and they threaten to not help you. So, do we really want to empower a company like Google? Absolutely not. And I think Google is finally getting what it deserves, which is the fact that they are monopolizing the competition with their, let's say, very bad and misleading search results. I've stopped using Google for searching. There are many other great engines out there, and you should definitely look at those too. And those don't actually track you. So Google tracks and sells everything about you. And ladies and gentlemen, a U.S. data center power demand may triple by 2028. Well, we got a few years, right? U.S. data center power demand fueled by the rapid adoption of AI, artificial intelligence, could nearly triple by 2028, consuming up to 12% of the country's electricity, according to the Department of Energy's back study. The surge in energy use stems from GPU, graphic processor units, accelerated servers, and the cooling systems requiring for the API operations to take place, with data centers already more than doubling their power usage since 2017. They've doubled since 2017. 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. In 7 years, they've doubled. So this growth, alongside rising energy needs from manufacturing and electrification, highlights the strain on the grid. This is inevitable. To address this, the report suggests innovations like long-duration battery storage, advanced geothermal systems, and small nuclear reactors to ensure grid resilience. I'm not a big fan of nuclear reactors. We all know that there's been lots of challenges and problems with them because people are not maintaining safety properly. I think everyone is in a rush, just like they're in a rush to get these electric cars out, but we're not ready for this. There's so much more that we have to go through. People always say you got to run, but you got to walk before you can run. You first got to get up, right? If you don't get up, you can't even walk. So you got to get up, then you got to walk, then you got to walk quicker, and then maybe you're going to jog, and then maybe you're going to run. You can't just go from walking to run like that quick. You really got to first get up, right? So I think that's going to be a big thing that's going to hit a lot of people. And I'm curious about, where this is going to go with a lot of people, because there are so many people that are concerned about where we're going with our technology. Is that going to keep our environment sustainable, or is it going to cause more fossil fuel problems or a larger carbon footprint? I don't know. But these are definitely interesting things to talk about. So, United Airlines becomes the first airline to use AirTag tracking luggage. United Airlines has become the first major airlines to incorporate Apple's AirTag tracking system for checked baggage. So, this new feature, launched just ahead of the holiday season, allows customers to use Apple's Find My network to share the location of their luggage with United's customer service agents, improving recovery times for delayed bags. If a bag is lost, passengers can report it via the United app and share their AirTag's location, enabling agents to track it on the interactive map. The system was built on Bluetooth technology and privacy secured through end-to-end encryption, and it's designed to enhance customer service and minimize the inconvenience of lost luggage. So people have lots of questions, and this is a great thing. So this is a question: does United give you a free AirTag for your luggage? So this has been a little bit of I'd say a little bit of a confusion for some people. how this works. No, United does not provide free AirTags for luggage, but it allows customers to share the location of their AirTags with the airline to help locate the luggage. So you still have to go get an AirTag. You still have to go purchase one. So people say to me, John, well, how much is an Apple AirTag? So Apple AirTags right now, depending on where you get them and things like that. I think the biggest thing right now to buy a one pack, I think, is like $29. You can buy a 4 pack from Apple right now, which is going to be a little bit less money. So the thing about with getting one at $29, and they come in lots of different flavors, right? You can get them for uh, you can get them like on a keychain. You can get them. So there's lots of different ways there's a couple of them like ways that you can get them. So now that you know that United does not provide the actual, they don't provide this at all. All they do is they basically allow you to use their network to, let's say, let's say, be able to facilitate a lost piece of luggage. And I think that's a pretty cool thing. But I want to make sure everyone knows here that it does not mean that you are getting a free AirTag. In fact, you are definitely not getting a free AirTag. So again, it is just a system that's allowing you to basically utilize what's there and be able to take that information and and um, and be able to help you, you know, let's say, find your luggage. So, these are very interesting things. But I want to be very clear with you is that United uh, doesn't give you a free AirTag. A lot of people thought you were going to get a free AirTag. Well, you don't. It allows the customers to share the location of their AirTags with the airline to help find lost luggage. So customers can use the share item location feature in the Find My app on their iPhone, iPad, or Mac to generate a link that can be shared with United's customer service. That's it. Um, to use the feature, customers need an iPhone running iOS 18.2 or later and the United app. So basically, you're able to link those back and forth. So, that's pretty cool. So, what happens if you don't have the United app? So, customers without the United app will receive a text notification with information about tracking delayed luggage and adding AirTag location details that way. The shared location will be disabled after a customer has the bag, and the link will automatically expire after 7 days. So I think this is a great thing. But a lot of people just think that the United's going to give you the tag. They're not. No. So I just want to make sure everybody is clear about this um, and how it works. It's You can buy a 4 pack set of AirTags for $69.99. So the thing about AirTags is that they're pretty cool. And then you can also buy AirTag cases, which are like $10. So the AirTag itself um, basically is a little disc, and then the disc still needs to go into a tag. So you still got to buy the tag, and then because you can't just like pop it in, right? I mean, if you put it in your luggage, you could do that, but that's going to kind of be annoying. So you're supposed to just put it on the outside. But then the question is, if you put it on the outside of the luggage, will people be able to just remove it? So I might want to put it inside the luggage because I'm thinking that somebody, might see this AirTag and like might decide to just grab it. I don't know. So it's great what they're doing, but again, I have concerns, ladies and gentlemen, about what's going on, what they're doing, and is this going to be something that's going to help people, or is it going to cause more of a frustration? I think it's a great idea to help people find their luggage, but my only question is, if they do this, they're going to have to provide a lot of support with how to use it because I bet you a lot of people do not know how to use AirTags. All right. And so moving on through the holidays, there's been a lot going on this holidays. I'm sure there are every holidays. But did you know, ladies and gentlemen, technology has changed over the holidays? You might say, well, how has technology changed over the holidays? Well, no matter where you're from, technology is playing a key role in helping people celebrate the holidays with their loved ones. Many are opting for e cards and video greetings instead of traditional cards and stamps, which is the way it's been done. And I think it's not just because of the technology's age and how it's evolving, but now a stamp, if you have to mail, like, people ask this all the time, John, how much, how much is a stamp right now? Well, stamp prices keep going up, right? So how much is a stamp in the US? So right now, a stamp in the US has gone up. Okay. As of July 14, 2024, it now costs 73 cents for a standard size rectangular envelope. That's a lot. And so when we think about that, you might think other technology is cheaper. And yeah, so 1 ounce of first class mail forever stamp covers up to 1 ounce, which is about the size of a business sized envelope and about 4 sheets of printer paper to give you, a rough idea. Additional ounces after the first ounce cost 28 cents up to 3.5 ounces. Larger envelopes, postage for a large envelope or flat, start at $1.50 for the first ounce. Wow. So you can understand why things are changing, right? And just to let you know, postcard rates have changed too. Yes. So I'm just talking about regular mailing, right? Not a bulk mailing. So how much are our postcard stamps? Well, there's a couple factors, right? But postcard stamps, a standard size rectangular postcard stamp starts at 56 cents. Oversized postcards need letter stamps, which start at 73 cents. So to mail a 4x6, let's say postcard, which is a pretty standard postcard, it's going to cost you 40 cents. So I think a lot of people don't realize what's going on, and a 2 ounce letter, okay, ladies and gentlemen, is going to basically cost you the 73 cents. So then one domestic forever stamp, okay, an additional ounce stamp, you can basically in some places overpay by 45 cents. So, that's crazy if you use two domestic forevers, right? So if everybody understands how this works, I just want to make sure you get it clear. How much is the second ounce after the first, let's say the first forever stamp? And it's really simple to understand. So don't waste putting two forevers on your letter because it's going to waste money. So you also have a fee, by the way, of something called non-machinable. So if you put a pen in the envelope and let's say the machine can't get through that, well, that's considered non-machinable, and it will bounce back if you don't have the non-machinable on there. So a non-machinable 2 ounces is $1.47. So a forever stamp is 73 cents. Okay. The first ounce after that is going to be 28 cents. So again, like I said, if you were to take two stamps, a lot of us say, "Oh, gee, I'll just throw two forever stamps on there," right? So 73 cents, which is pretty easy. 73 cents times two comes up to be $1.46, right? And so, overpaying by that 40 cents, 45 cents, that's a lot. And so this is what's making people want to be able to use technology now instead of mailing things, not just because it's easier and more convenient, but because of costs. I think that's a really big one. Even people that are not technically proficient are starting to want to do this. So e-cards, a lot of them you can get for free. There are lots of e-card sites up there. But there's one that I know I had been using for years, and so they have a lot of free greetings on their sites. It's actually called American Greetings, and there are lots of others out there. Just to let you know, they have a trial you can sign up for, but so you can get a lot of the free cards. But then if there's one, let's say that you want, and let's say that's the one you want, but you can't get it for whatever reason, it's because you are not able to get the premium cards. So basically, you can access over 1,000 greetings for $1.99 a month. You can mail a lot of letters that way. If you had to mail 1,000 greetings by mail, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of rocket science to figure this out. But if you're just mailing just regular old cards, right? 73 cents, ladies and gentlemen, times 1,000. Okay, that's $730. Okay. Of course, you can tag on things like either an Amazon card or other gift card, and they'll be securely sent. You can even customize the cards. So these are just some of the things that you can do, but more people are choosing these because, again, they're a lot more economical, costly wise. And the other thing that's neat about them is that you can personalize them in some very unique ways that you can't with a regular card. You can add videos to some of them. You can add music to some of them. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do. And so when you think about sending somebody a card, right? You don't know if they've gotten it. If you send an e-card, well, you know when it went out. You also get a notification when they've opened it. So many are opting for e-cards, and like I said, video greetings. Some people are taking their phone, whether it's Facebook, whether it's other social media, and they're recording a video greeting and either SMSing it through, let's say, a social media platform, or maybe they're SMS texting it through their cellular provider. So these are just some things that you can do. But again, you can see the prices on mailings have gone through the roof. So the next question you're probably going to ask me, and I think it's a great question to ask, is when, and this is a great question, everyone, when will stamps go up again? Well, the good news is they're not going up in January. That is the good news. Okay. They are scheduled to go up again in July of 2025. So, the latest price took effect on July 14, 2024, and it looks like we're now going to be 78 cents. They don't change anything in July 2025. That's what it's going to be. So that's why it makes sense to buy a roll of forever stamps. It's like $73. So that's important to do that. It's crazy how much stamps are costing. It's unbelievable. In many areas, the tax rate imposed on documents, it's 70 cents per hundred. So like in New Jersey, it's for 6.625, 62. So it's not a huge amount. And people always say to me, John, is there tax on stamps? So gross receipts from sale of U.S. postal stamps sold for the purposes of postage are not subject to tax. The folders or wrappers containing the stamps are taxable. So the stamp vehicle, if you will, is not taxed. But everything else you need, unfortunately, gentlemen, yep, that's gonna be taxed. But the stamps are not taxed, so I'm happy to hear that they're not. And it's definitely changing the way people send holiday greetings out. So those who can't be with family in person, maybe you want to do something like a virtual video call, allowing them to join in on gift exchanges, maybe on Christmas Day or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or wherever. The way it works is you can sign up for a free account with either Zoom or many of the other providers. And Zoom, I believe, gives you, if they haven't changed it, I mean, I know they keep changing it. I think Zoom gives you, what is it? Just because, I mean, they change this all the time. But Zoom free limit. Basically, it's the Zoom free limit. They do allow you 40 minutes, okay, to be on. There's no limit to the number of meetings you can host, and so you know it works out pretty well, and up to 100 participants per meeting. So 40 minutes. They have paid plans, but again, if you're just trying to do like some opening gifts and whatnot, or being around for the holiday dinner, even if you let's say knock off at 40 minutes, when it knocks you off, you can reconnect again with the same information, and you could be on for another 40 minutes. You can keep doing that. Right now, there's no limit. So if it's the holiday time, and let's say you have your big screen TV with the camera, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just have your iPhone and you just have your Zoom app downloaded, and you can literally be the camera person and be just like, shooting everyone, and then they can see you and you can see them. And so, again, it's a great way to be somewhere when you can't be somewhere. So, this is a great technology that is changing the way people are staying connected over the holidays. I think it's a really cool thing. So whether you're doing it for virtual gift wrapped opening, maybe you sent some gifts and you want to see their faces when they open them. Well, that's a great thing, right? Maybe it's for dinner. Maybe you do a virtual dinner where you are making the same things, but each person sends, let's say, their part of the meal to everyone else. So you send your piece to whoever is going to be there. Maybe it's three or four of the families, and then each of them send theirs to the other three or four families as well. And so then you can do a virtual toast. There's lots of things you can do, and so this makes it fun, and you both get to take part in a home cooked holiday meal. Additionally, modern security systems and video surveillance are ensuring homes are staying safe. Maybe you're traveling to grandma's, grandpa's, or some other relatives. And unfortunately, when you do, you're somehow thinking in the back of your mind, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, is my house safe? And so with many of the home surveillance systems, you can actually, look at the camera right on your iPhone. There are some doorbells out there that when people ring your doorbell or even come near your door, will even capture some video footage. There's some of them that will even allow you not only to ring the doorbell, but this one client I visited, when they're not home and they don't answer, it says press the button again to leave a message. And typically, what it does is it records the message and puts it onto their cell phone where they can watch it. So, this is a great way to know if loved ones or friends stop by to say hello. Otherwise, you would never know who stopped by, right? But I think the most important thing is letting the bad actors know that even though you might not physically be there, you're still watching your premise. And if they go to do something, well, not only are you going to be able to know who did it, you're going to take action against them for any damages they may have caused. So I think that's a good thing, and hopefully it deters many of the bad actors to not act. Keeping your home safe, giving travelers peace of mind. And I think there's so many things that we can do over the holidays. But knowing that we're safe, or knowing that even things like, your hot water heater is okay, or everything else is okay in your home, and you can get alerts. So I think these are really good things. And so as technology is evolving, I think what we're starting to see is that we're able to get communication about these things in one place, like our cell phone. They'll come into an app. Many of these systems have a free app you download, and you'll get a limited amount of storage, so you can have the information for it might be a few gigs, depending on what it is. Then after that, you have to pay, and it's usually a small amount of money. But if you're just looking to check what's going on, you can easily get that footage, and you can even download that footage on a lot of them. So I think that's a really cool thing. So use technology to connect your loved ones together, and also use it so that you get peace of mind and you can keep your property safer. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was in grammar school, I got the privilege of playing the Oregon Trail. So 50 years of the Oregon Trail uncovering the controversies. The Oregon Trail is a groundbreaking educational video game launched in 1974. It became a staple in the US classrooms, shaping the understanding of history for generations. I got to play mine on an Apple IIe, and I believe I was in fifth grade and still had floppy disks back then. At that time, it was a 5 1/4 floppy disk. Yes. The game, which simulated the westward journey of 19th century settlers, was a hit due to its engaging gameplay and historical content, sparking interest in American frontier. And however, the game's portrayal of westward expansion has been criticized for its colonist perspective, neglecting the stories of native Americans and marginalized groups. While later versions of the game have worked to address these issues, the debate continues over the ethics of turning such a violent historical event into a game. Despite this, the Oregon Trail's legacy remains influential, with its innovation still evident in modern gaming. So I think these are really cool things. And I know when I was playing that game, you had to answer like questions and stuff like that. And so it wasn't a game where you'd use a joystick. You had to make decisions. Like, you're on this trail. Uh, you know, you would you like to eat? Yes or no? Okay, you now just spent $50 for food. You have 500 left. What do you need to do? Oh, you just got robbed by a roaming stagecoach thief. Lose $200, or you have to fix a broken axle on your carriage. They're all different things. And I think what was interesting about it is that it wasn't like a typical game where it was using your insights. Okay. And I think that was something that I believed was really cool. The first time I played it, I didn't really get what was going on, or why they were doing certain things. But I will tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, it was amazingly cool. When I say amazingly cool, it was amazingly cool. So, definitely something that I believe teaches some great information. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know this, but Amazon, yes, more news about Amazon. Amazon and OSHA settle over injury rates and warehouse conditions. Amazon and OSHA reached a broader settlement regarding hazardous working conditions in Amazon's warehouses. The agreement addresses ergonomic complaints, mandates biannual meetings to review injury data, and includes a penalty of $145,000. Amazon praised the settlement as a recognition of its progress, citing a 28% improvement in incident rates and a 27% drop in ergonomic injuries. However, the Strategic Organizing Center criticized Amazon, alleging that the company has not done enough to prevent worker injuries. The settlement follows recent allegations, including a Senate report claiming Amazon manipulated injury data and ignored safety recommendations. Well, we all know that they haven't been, let's say, the most honest people in the shed, right? How about those people that were found on the floor and they were almost dead? Luckily, several hours later, a person found them on the floor, but nobody ever reported or did anything. And luckily, they're still alive. So, really, some interesting things. And, ladies and gentlemen, lessons from Australia's new social media ban for kids. Australia has passed a groundbreaking law banning children under 16 from using social media platforms like Instagram, X, and Snapchat starting in late 2025. This move aims to protect minors from harmful mental health effects of social media, including bullying and self harm. Let me hear your thoughts about that. I think that's a great thing that they're doing. And while the ban has received support from many parents and the public, child rights groups argue it could limit vulnerable youth from accessing essential support networks. So there's some things they still got to work out there. And U.S. senators call on Biden to delay the ByteDance sale requirement for 90 days. Now, Biden may or may not be able to do anything, but we know that Trump is coming in soon, and we've already heard from him speculating that he'd like to keep these guys around for a little while. I think because he gained like a 33% increase from some of the, let's say, lower demographic age, and he wants to keep that around. So this request comes amid ongoing debates about potential risks posed by the Chinese-owned app, with some lawmakers exposing concerns over data privacy and foreign influence. So we're going to have to sit tight and see what's going to happen there. But I know it's not going to be easy. And ladies and gentlemen, Italy fines OpenAI for ChatGPT privacy violations. Italy's data protection watchdog fined OpenAI £15 million for violating user privacy laws with its AI chatbot ChatGPT. The investigation revealed improper handling of personal data, insufficient transparency, and inadequate age verification to shield minors from harmful content. I bet that was no shock to you. OpenAI plans to appeal, labeling the penalty as excessive. Additionally, OpenAI must run a public awareness campaign about data practices in Italy. The ruling highlights growing regulatory scrutiny over AI systems globally, with the EU leading efforts through its forthcoming AI Act. Definitely something. We have to keep an eye on what's going on with AI, but I think it's not just the European Union. I think the United States of America needs to wake up and be just as proactive as the European Union is. Google offers a solution to address the search monopoly. Google has proposed changes to address its alleged search monopoly as scrutiny from regulators continues to mount. The company suggests allowing rival search engines, get this, ladies and gentlemen, yes, allowing rival search engines to get more visibility by giving users clear options to select their preferred provider during device setup and expanding access to its advertising tools. This comes amid ongoing legal battles and antitrust investigations in the US and Europe over claims that Google unfairly dominates the search market, stifling competition, they say. The proposal aims to ease regulatory concerns while maintaining its competitive edge in the digital landscape. Ooh, that is something. Amazon and Starbucks workers strike. Trump's possible role. Amazon and Starbucks workers are striking in several U.S. cities, demanding recognition of their unions and better labor contracts. The strikes, which began in December of 2024, follow previous labor unrest and aim to push for meaningful changes before President-elect Trump appoints a Republican majority to the National Labor Relations Board. Workers are seeking high wages, improved benefits, and safer working conditions. While Amazon and Starbucks have resisted unionization, both companies face increased pressure from workers and unions like the Teamsters, with some strikes timed to coincide with the busy holiday season. The outcome of these strikes may influence future labor relations under Trump administration. We'll have to see what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, but that's definitely a serious thing, and I'm glad that they're trying to do some stuff with that because it's really a problem, ladies and gentlemen. It is a big problem. And our last topic for tonight, I think you guys are going to find very interesting. Apple complains. Yes, they complain with Meta's request risks privacy in the European Union tech dispute. Apple has expressed concerns that Meta's platform's request for access to its operating software could jeopardize user privacy. This dispute comes as the European Union intensifies efforts to enforce its Digital Markets Act, the DMA, which aims to ensure fair competition in the tech industry. The European Union proposed guidelines would require Apple to make its products more compatible with those of rivals like Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram. Apple, of course, has argued that Meta's request could allow access to sensitive user data, such as messages, emails, photos, and app usage. Meta, on the other hand, accused Apple of using privacy concerns as a shield against interoperability. The European Union Commission is gathering public feedback on these proposals until January 9th of the coming year of 2025. So we're going to have to see what's going on with this. And there's a lot happening in the news. I mean, there is a lot happening. And I think, as we get ready to move into 2025, this is the last show for 2024, as you guys know. It's been a very interesting year. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, we've had lots of major stores closing and some still on the precipice of closing. We just learned about Party City and some major ones, and even parts of other big chains, and Pizza Hut's due to close so many stores, and they're even saying Target, and there's so many others. Is this because of all the competition overseas? Is this because of Amazon? Like, what is it? And I think, you know, the big issue is that we are buying everything overseas. So Trump hopes to, put these tariffs in place so that we only buy things from our own country, which is nice, but there's got to be a ramp up period, right? And this ramp up period is going to take some time. We can't do all this overnight. And so if we understand that everything we do has to evolve for the greater good of all concerned. And I think when we start to, sit down, whether it's Google, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Walmart, I don't think it really matters who. I think at the end of the day, it comes down to, are we doing the right thing for the greater good of all concerned? Everyone always looks at it from a point of view, how much money are we going to make? But they don't really look at, how is this going to affect the American people, right? They look at how much money can we put in our pocket. And although that seems like a great idea for most businesses, it's not the plan for longevity. It might seem like it's going to help us, but in the end, you know, we may not get that consistent profit that we're expecting. Look at what's happening with stores like Party City. You know, when you sell a product, you've got to make some money, right? But I think when there's too much competition and when it's too easily available to just go online and go to Amazon and stuff like that, I think that's a big problem. And I think, with Amazon putting its claws in everything, I think they might be one of the worst things in the United States, unfortunately, gentlemen, because they just get their hands in everything. But if something goes wrong, what does Amazon do? They flip it and they blame somebody else. Meta's no hero either. I can't really say too much about Apple because every time Apple's had an issue, Apple has always come behind to resolve it. We did have some issues with Apple with their commercial, which nobody really liked, how they were starting to show that, people's original ideas and using tools was kind of something that wasn't going to be done anymore, but it is still going to be done. So I think that's an important thing, ladies and gentlemen. Well, you know who I am by now. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It is always such a privilege, a pleasure, and honor to be with you guys here on the J Moore Tech Talk Show. Do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I'm going to see you guys real soon. In the meantime, happy, healthy, prosperous, abundant, joyful, and a wonderful new year to all of you.